There's handicapping the races, and then there's betting the races. And each time in Newbie Tuesdays, we try to help you place your next wager. And in our betting portion tonight, we're going to talk about the basic tenet of the wagering world, and that is the win, place, and show wagers, the most traditional bet, the one that's been with us since day one.
Yeah, the win bet, basically, you're going to make a bet on a horse, and he's got to win the race. He or she has to win the race. He runs second, third, you're not going to cash that ticket. It's not coming back to you. So the win bet is betting on a horse to win that particular race.
Now, when you talk about place, you're talking about a horse who could run first or second. If your horse wins or runs second, you'll cash on the place ticket. And on the show ticket, your horse could run first, second, or third. But as you know, Brian, your win odds, you can tell from the tote board that gives you the odds on each horse. If a horse is 5-1 to win on the tote board, you'll get $5 back for each dollar you bet in profit. So a winner at 5-1 will actually pay you $12. You'll get a $10 profit back and your $2 from your original bet. When it comes to the place and show, you can't expect quite as big a payoffs, however.
Yeah, obviously the win bet's a riskier proposition. You're going to get rewarded more for it because your horse has to win the race. A place bet, he can run first or second, show bet for second or third. So it's going to be a little more tiered, the payoff. And there's also, on a place bet, 2 horses can run first or second, and in the show bet, 3 horses. So there's more in the pool of horses that can come into the number. Therefore, you're not going to get paid as much.
Right, you're sharing amongst the people who all have winning tickets. So in the place pool, the 1 horse and the 2 horse could both pay to place who run first and second. So you're dividing that up by a lot more bettors each cashing those tickets. Now, when you're placing a win, place, or show bet, the $2 minimum is at stake, where some other wagers in racing you can get down cheaper than that. But for win, place, and show, you have to make a $2 play. When do you feel it's a good time to play a little bit more on a horse to win?
Well, obviously, if we've talked about handicapping a race and the pace and things like that. If you like a front runner and you don't see any more other speed in the race, that's as good a racing scenario as you can have. You might want to up your bet. You might want to like that horse a little bit more. If you like a closer in a race where there's going to be several speed types, well, that's another time that maybe you think the pace is going to fall apart in deep stretch. Your horse is going to be there to capitalize. Another time you might want to up your wager a little bit.
The key is to increase your wagers when you have confidence, not when a horse is going to pay a low amount. Just because the odds are low, you shouldn't bet more money to try to make sure that you collect $25. If the odds are low, there's really a lot of times you want to stay away from a horse like that. Again, bet when you have the biggest opinion and the strongest opinion.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, if a horse is a heavy favorite, he's a heavy favorite for a reason. So maybe that's not the spot you want to jump in, especially if you think he's going to win the race. Doesn't mean you should bet more on him, just maybe means you should bet less in general on that race, because if he's 3-5, very good chance that horse is going to win. So you really, even though another horse might be 20-1, probably not the best time to take a stab at him.
Right, when a horse is 3-5, you got to bet $5 to get $3 back in profit. So you're not even doubling your money in that situation. The time where you get bigger odds, that might be the time to jump in more on the place and show end. Maybe you have a horse who's 20 or 30-1 odds to win, and you don't think they can necessarily win the race, but you think they're going to run pretty well. And what can you reasonably expect to get back in a situation where you have a 20-30-1 shot running second or third?
Well, in a deep race, I think maybe there's 10 horses in the race. Maybe you have a 2-1 favorite, so you don't have a strong favorite. If you do bet, if you have a 20-1 horse that runs second, $13, $14 in the place pool, I think that's very fair. I think $6 or $7 in the show pool is very fair. And like Jeremy said, that's the time where you might want to play those 20-1s. They don't win that often, but they might run second and third, and you're going to get very rewarded if they do.
Anytime you can double your money, triple your money, and the horse not win the race, it's a fairly decent proposition. So when you get those long shot prices who could run second or third, that's a good time. And it's a great place for people to start off in the wagering world, because lower risk, but you still have a chance for a little bit of a reward, and it's a good way to get your toe tipped into the water.
There's no doubt about it. The more you spread out your bets, the more chance you have of winning, meaning the more chance you have of playing. And if you go broke by betting win bets all the time, you're probably not going to want to come back and play some more. So taking a slower approach, a more staggered approach, it's not going to guarantee you a win, but you'll have more of a chance to win, therefore more of a chance to learn, more of a chance to come back and have some fun.
Win, place, and show might be the oldest of all the wagers, and it might be the most basic, but it's certainly not lost on experienced bettors. Even the best gamblers will argue that the win, place, and show is still the best pools and the best bets in all of racing. So don't feel like you're taking the easy way out because you're betting win, place, and show. Some of the absolute best and strongest and biggest bettors in racing still say they're the best pools to dive into.